built a mosque inside the skull where worst case worshippers convene. Prostrate before the altar of disasters you never seen. Every prayer is a prediction, every sermon speaks of doom. You've memorized the scripture of your self-constructed tomb. The temple of your terror stands on ground that doesn't shake, but you rehearse the earthquake for the art of staying fake. Each ceremony celebrates the things that never come, while the present tries to reach you, but your doors are welded shut. You're the priest of your own paranoia, reading omens in the air, conducting festivals of failure in your climate control despair. The doctrine says prepare for nothing, but you've written something else, a sacrament of suffering you're serving to yourself. The horror show is optional. Your blessing is the here and now. Stop directing your disaster. The theater is in your head. You're addicted to the adrenaline of endings that won't arrive, masturbating mentally to tragedies that never come alive. Every dogma that you follow leads to paralysis disguised as preparation, but you're stalling, hiding from the actual fight. The festival is happening outside your fortress made of fear, but you're too busy dressed rehearsing for a future that's not real. You've got scripture for your suffering, a manual for pain, but no instructions for the sunshine trying to break through your disdain. The ceremony of your catastrophe is detailed and precise. Who's blocked and staged these tragedies? You've rehearsed it more than twice. Your blessing has been buried under blueprints for the fall, while responsibility is knocking, but you won't answer the call. Glass tower observation, watching yourself drown in simulation. The world moves forward, you move inward, building confused to confusion, praying to pollution in the temple of your mind. You're running out of time, not from danger, from life. No foundation, the temple has no God, the prayer has no recipient, the doctrine is a fraud. You are the congregation, the prophet and the fool, manufacturing salvation from an imaginary wound. The horror show is out, you know. Your blessing is the here and now. Stop directing your disaster. For this moment, the ceremony for the real festival is waiting, but you're not ever The present doesn't need your permission. It's happening with all without your vision. Your catastrophe cathedral is empty and unreal. Time to leave the building, time to learn to feel. Woo! Woo! Ho! Here! Woo! Woo! Oh, baby! Woo! Woo! Ha! Ha! Woo! Ho! 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 I've been the captain of a vessel made of smoke, charting every storm that never broke, rehearsing shipwrecks in my cabin late at night, while the real coast fades from sight. My hole is patched with futures I design, 1,000 ports I never find. I'm loading cargo that don't exist, check marking tragedies off my list. The bridge is crowded with the ghost of what could be, but the wheel stays locked while I'm paying out debris. Destroyer of my own damn forward motion, drowning on dry land, never touched the ocean. But there's a harbor waiting past this theater in my head. The water's real, the anchor's real, the horizon straight ahead. I'm breaking through the whole of my imagine fate, throwing overboard disasters I create. No more rehearsing for a tragedy, that's fake. I'm the captain now and I'm finally awake. The only ship that's sinking is the one I never sail. My phantom cargo's worthless, all my horror stories fail. There's a world that needs my hands upon the wheel. I'm done with mental masturbation, time to make it real. Starboard port, I'm acting in my mind. Every reef and monster I could find, but my feet have never touched a wooden deck. I'm just a coward with a script around my neck, been hiding in the pleasure of my own catastrophe. Addicted to the drama of what I'll never see. While life keeps knocking, screaming, come outside. I'm in my theater watching credits roll on pride. The destroyer isn't destiny, it's me. Building prisons out of possibility. My code was simple, out of overfear, but I traded action for another year. There's a difference between caution and the cave, between preparing for the storm and missing every page. I'm breaking through the hull of my imagined fate, going overboard, disasters I create. No more rehearsing for a tragedy, that's fate. I'm the captain now and the finding away. The only ship that's sinking is the one I never sail. My phantom cargo's worthless, all my horror stories fail. There's a world that needs my hands upon the wheel. I'm done with mental masturbation, time to make it real. Masterless, we're not rudderless. No loyalty, the fear's abyss. The code says move when others freeze. The warrior kneels to no disease. Not the future slave, not anxiety's pawn. The vessel only sees if I never said at dawn. I'm breaking through the whole of my imagined fate, throwing overboard disasters I create. No more audience, the horrors I narrate. I'm the captain now, reclaiming what I am. The only ship that's sinking is the one that never sailed. My phantom cargo's burning, all my terror tales derailed. There's a world that needs my presence at the rear. I'm done with men for prison, now is all that's real. So I step onto the coast with empty hands. No script, no map, no rehearsed plans. Just the warrior's code and present breath, trading imagined depths for knife instead. The vessel's real, the water's here. I've been the captain of a vessel. I've been the captain of a vessel.
You've been rehearsing apocalypses in your skull, building monuments to disasters that never come, while the real world, breathing, bleeding, demanding, waits outside your self-made cinema of dread. I've been drowning in an ocean that exists only in my mind. Waves of worry crashing over futures I design. Director of disaster screening tragedies on repeat, while life's real currents pull at my unmoving feet. Built a mountain out of terrors, climbed it every single night. Rehearsed 1,000 endings in the absence of the light. My anxiety's a mistress and I worship at a shrine, trading action for the comfort of this suffering is mine.
But the hurricane was never real.
The marsh was just a metaphor.
I feel I've been mining for gems in the dirt of my fear.
While the river of now disappears when you move,
the monsters dissolve like smoke. The savannah opens wide when you finally broke
from the humans of paralysis.
Something grows,
The catastrophe dies when the real
wind blows.
I was the hunter and the hunted in my private mental war, sharpening my teeth on prophecies of what I was bracing for. Addicted to the drama of the danger I create, masochistic mental theater while my real life couldn't wait. The jungle isn't out there, it was tangled in my head. I fed it with attention to the living, felt like dead. Every scenario perfected, every tragedy rehearsed, but the fantasy of suffering became my only thirst.
But the hurricane was never real.
The marsh was
in the dirt of my fear.
While the river of now disappears when you move.
The monsters dissolve like smoke. The savannah opens wide when you finally broke.
From the humans to paralysis, something grows. The catastrophe dies when the real wind blows.
One step and the sea parts, one breath and the spell breaks. The mountain crumbles into sand when you use your hands.
When you finally make a stand. Was just a metaphor.
I feel I've been mining for gems in the dirt of my fear.
While the river of now disappears when you move.
The monsters dissolve like smoke. The savannah opens wide when you finally broke.
From the humans to paralysis, something grows. The catastrophe dies when the real wind blows.
The ocean calms
when you swim.
The mountain moves
when you climb.
The savannah breathes
when you run.
The river flows when you jump in. The gems were here
all along.
In the now.
In the now. In the now.
From night in my mind, but I'm standing still. Armor made of fear, bending to my will. Radar scanning futures that will never come. I'm the only soldier in a war with none. Hey! I rehearse the apocalypse at 3 a.m. Every conversation becomes Armageddon. Playing out the genocide of all my dreams. When reality knocks softly, I don't need the screams, but to bunker in my head, stock with scenarios where everything collapses into dominoes. I conduct a reconnaissance on phantom threats, mapping out disasters I ain't even met yet. The surrender sign before the battle starts. I memorize the script where I fall apart. Amphibious assault on my own peace of mind, evading my tomorrow while I'm deaf and blind to the present moment standing at my door. I'm too busy directing my mental war. Every heartbeat sounds like incoming artillery, but it's just my chest is no real enemy.
Frontline in my mind, but I'm standing still. Armor made of fear, bending to my will. Great, I'm scanning futures that will never come.
I'm the only soldier in a war with Coverage with thoughts dropping into every silence, turning into violence in my synapses, firing with a license, creating crises that don't exist yet. I persist in the abyss of what ifs and near miss. Catastrophic predictions, self-inflicted contradictions. I'm addicted to the friction of the vision. So sadistic, got me twisted in positions where I'm living like a victim of decisions. I ain't making, just debating every outcome while I'm faking like I'm working, but I'm looking in the theater of my own defeat. Rehearsing every possible retreat, calculating my obsolete while opportunity is knocking, but I'm locking with the monsters that I'm doctoring and fostering. These imposters getting stronger as I ponder every blunder that could plunder my existence in an instant. So I'm distant from the present tense. I'm living past and future tense. This suspense is my preference. Stop. Listen. The cavalry isn't coming because there's no war. Just you and a Tuesday and a choice you won't make. I signed the armistice with ghosts. Negotiated terms with smoke. Surrender ground I never owned. Built monuments to threats unknown. The radar screaming. The armor's heavy. I'm on the front line of my mind where monsters wait but never arrive.
I'm blind in mind, but I'm standing still. Armor made of fear and bends to my will. Radar scanning
Futures that will never come. I'm the only soldier in a war with none. With none. With none. The genocide was just a daydream. Reality is still waiting.
subject exhibits recursive thought patterns. Neural pathways dedicated to scenario projection, 92%. Real-world engagement metrics, critical failure. Diagnosis? You're running simulations while Rome burns. Time to override the protocol.
I've been data mining my worst case files, building spreadsheets of imaginary trials, every nightmare cataloging cross-reference twice, while opportunity bleeds out such a reasonable price. My anxiety runs like quantum computing, every probability branch simultaneously computing. I'm the CEO of disasters that don't exist, board meetings in my head I never miss. Big data says I'm paralyzed by design, my cryptography's just hiding behind each encrypted fear, each firewall I build. Another day the real world stays unfulfilled, so I'm breaking the algorithm, violence in my veins, crashing through the glitch where the terror remains. I'm a drone strike on my own mental chains, protocol be damned, I'm boarding the plane. Cybersecurity breach, I'm hacking through the screens, executing action while my psyche intervenes. This is war, uncomfortable horror movie dreams. I'm taking ground despite the sirens in my seams. Downloaded every catastrophe, HD quality, my theater of doom, such production value, such brutality. I'm directing, I'm starring, I'm the audience of one premiere every morning before anything gets done. The virus isn't coming, the virus is the wave, the infection is the self-gratifying mental state. I've optimized my cowardice with corporate precision, American psycho smile while I murder my ambition. Big data says I'm trending toward decline, each simulation's just another line of code that keeps me safely in the red, while realize waiting I'm rehearsing dread instead. So I'm breaking the algorithm, violence in my veins, crashing through the glitch where the terror remains. I'm a drone strike on my own mental chains, protocol be damned, I'm boarding the plane. Cybersecurity breach, I'm hacking through the screens, executing action while my psyche intervenes. This is war, uncomfortable horror movie dreams. I'm taking ground despite the sirens in my themes. The horrors are real, but the paralysis is. The monsters in the mirror, not in the abyss. I've been profit maximizing fear like a corporation, quarterly returns on my own stagnation. But the violence of now is the antidote prescribed, the brutality of action when your comfort's been denied. No more data, no more mining, what could be just the savage beauty of your uncertainty. I'm breaking the algorithm, violence in my veins, crashing through the glitch where the terror remains. I'm a drone strike on my own mental chains, protocol deleted, I'm boarding the plane. Cybersecurity shattered, hacking through the screens, executing action while my psyche intervenes. This is war, uncomfortable horror movie dreams. I'm taking ground despite the sirens in my seams. System reboot complete, new protocol, action precedes certainty, the quantum computing stops. One timeline, one choice now. End simulation.